guys. We're starting it off right. You can already hear it. Hitting that air horn. We're doing great, guys. Monster winner to talk about today. We'll be talking about the swing trade account killer trade in LAC, guys. And honestly, it was such a good trade that I actually got scared. I'll talk about the story coming up, guys. So stick around. We got a lot to talk about. It's another beautiful day here at Trade the Pool. So let's get right to this. Seems like we've been on a wild ride indeed. Let's go to my charts and take a look here as we're seeing, of course, the S&P 500, the SPY kind of just continuing to trickle along. The Qs is really where it's been at, right? Tech has really kind of gotten that nice lift off away from that kind of dark bolded line that you guys see here. And at this point, you know, we keep getting away from these bolded lines, right? And so you guys see that I had this green line marked back here at the 540s. That was like the buy signal. If we got back through the all-time high and continued going through, I was really in that more long mode. Ever since then, I've been in long mode and we've continued higher. I definitely wasn't long mode down here in kind of the 507s and the 520s. I'll be as honest as I can be, right? But the key there is at this point, we're making stronger and stronger levels for support on downside action. So should we see this 420 anytime soon? No way. No way, guys. So this just tells us more and more. The upside has just been relentless lately. And you can see it on the MACD and the RSI really going higher, but not insane, guys. It's only at like an 84. It was just a little bit higher and then actually pulling back a little bit with this last sideways day here. But you see the RSI starting to cut into the MACD. This is something that I've been using a little bit more of, trying to look for RSI to lead and MACD to follow, right? And so MACD follows, RSI starts to go higher, and that's what we want to see. Kind of that divergence that I'm playing it with here. And of course, this is just more learning from it. I usually have them just separated, and I said, you know what? Let's stack them and see if it somewhat helps. All right, guys, like always, indicators are for description, not for entry. And that's what I want to do, though. I want to use them for description, and then I want to use my abilities of knowing patterns and how I recognize things to get after it, right? Because I think that's the important thing. Use trade price action, but you pay attention to indicators to show you price description. Essentially, the description of what's going on. It's like a narrative that these indicators are telling us. We have to follow the narrative to stay on the stock. All right, we'll see what happens in the market today. We got a lot to talk about. Let's get to the playbook action. One of these, talk about it. I'm making some good money right now, guys. Let's keep going. Let's get to the action. Let's talk about it. Let's get to the playbook today, guys. Smash the like. Let's get it going. All right, guys, first one up on the playbook, and we're going to be looking all around. There's different trades to look at, but yesterday I was looking at this trade. It did make a nice little breakout out the gates, then pulled back. So let's see if this one wants to get going here. And this is AMD. And I'm having it on the 15. You can look at it on the hourly. You can see how we got back above this. We could still make a quick attempt towards like 159. So I have that line in play here. That's kind of an attempt back through the support, right? So I'm going to keep watch on that. But as you can see, we're kind of building in here, trying to break the 162.20 mark, 162. You could put it at 163 if you really wanted. Let's put it up to 162.75 to really clear all the closing candles, right? And we'll use this wick candle, which was around the 68, right? So we're looking for a move towards 163, a breakout on AMD. It could still do a 160 move and then get through 163, but through 163 towards 164 is the real breakout alert. And then we can start to look for breakouts and pullbacks. So of course, you guys know how I love the breakouts. And then I like to look for a stock to pull back towards that layer and then really get going. So that's what I'll be looking for in AMD. We could have this type of setup move, or it could be that quick down move and then the move starts to recover. So that's another way to look at this, right? A quick move higher. Of course, the difference is this move usually takes off and doesn't come back. Now this one takes through the resistance and usually has that tendency of coming back and giving you that re-entrance. So I love to draw these, what I call scenario analysis, right? What we're expecting to see. Because if we can draw this in pre-market, have the mentality of this is where we want to execute. When we get to the actual open, right? This is like practice, and practice, we're drawing up the play, right? We're practicing it. And then when we get to the game, what do? We execute. And that's the most important part when you're looking at trade ideas like this. I want you guys drawing these lines. I want you guys drawing the scenarios that you're expecting. And then when it happens, guess what? You're going to be that much more prepared to not get scared or overthink the reaction, but just gas pedal on, baby. Get after it. All right, we'll see what happens out there. AMD definitely on the watch. Let's get to the next stock. This is the Lithium play after LAC breakout. Who was long LAC? Your boy Money Mitch at it again. Another overnight crazy run, guys. We had one of these in Intel just recently where it was like a nice 20-30% run. This thing ran like 80%, like 100% on this move. I mean, you can't get any better than that, guys. So I closed this trade. We'll talk a little bit more about it, but awesome trade. And now I'm looking at what? Well, the interest about, of course, the rumors in LAC have me looking at lithium names again, right? And I was looking at SQM and it was looking better yesterday. So this is a name that we could look at for a bigger move, right? ALB also in play here. This is also an American one, guys, and this could be another one that the US takes a stake in. We'll just be looking at it. ALB, really nice pattern here and can go higher. So we'll look for a nice little move right back up there. Could still come back into this bottom trend line, but right now it's looking like it wants to make an attempt towards the 89 and 95s, and that could be the bigger breakout. And this is, remember, like I talk about, this is yearly trends, guys. Yearly trends have come back down, and this looks great here. So I think this looks awesome for another name. I'm going to go to a smaller one that you guys can maybe come after today, because these are more like your swing, right? Well, what about like this one? This is a little bit of a tighter one, like I like to trade LAC, right? Like I traded on that one. Well, I like this name right here, and this looks prime, guys. So this is the trade setup here for this SGML, looking for this to go right back up into this green spot. It could really start to get going today, maybe make a breakout towards like 7 today. I don't know if it's going to get to 775 or 8 today, but I can tell you at least I'm looking for a break towards 7, and that's right there, right? So of course the support in the industry is going to help this. This was already looking better, right? So you had this kind of up move in early July. You declined really quickly. You saw the MACD undercut, right? Even get below. Now it's been kind of flirting with the zero line, right? The zero line is a really important spot in the MACD, pretty much telling us kind of, is it bullish or bearish, right? Is it a declining action or is it kind of advancing? And then we just got a recent cross, right? Right here, right? And now what's going on? Well, the MACD is starting to go higher, and also the RSI in the same direction. It was still declining even when the cross happened. They happened near the same time. When this starts to break the trend line, we can start paying attention to that to see if we can hold and then get higher. So now I'm looking for a quick pullback and then a move higher, and then the RSI and MACD should continue pushing away the MACD, and the RSI continuing to push into the 60s. So you see it right now at the 55s. That's going to be the sign for that continued breakout through here towards the $7 and above. So really good looking trade here that has me on watch today. And I need to be sharp today, guys, because there's something that's very important. After you make a big win, it's easy to run into a big loser. So what do we got to do? Be sharp, be ready, be predetermined, and get after it, traders. All right, let's keep going. Let's get to the last one here on this morning's playbook. Let's go to CrowdStrike. As CrowdStrike is making moves, it's up there towards the 510. It's pulling back here towards the 482s, 481s. I'm looking for this to get back over and see if this can really kind of break out above the 484 spot there and go towards the 485. So I really like this. This is more of a 9 EMA attempt. This is that pullback to that light blue line, right? So when you get a stock that gaps away, right, you can look into a kind of a rectangle pattern here. And a lot of times you get on the second day an attempted breakout like you got here, where it attempted to go to 507 and just continued on a day 3 move. But what does it do? It sweeps those buyers and it starts to hit those buyers, hit those buyers, hit those buyers, right? But at some point, you're going to expect this turnaround. And what do you need? You need some support also in the industry, right? And you can see here, the MACD has been crossed on this thing since back here, since September. So it hasn't gotten weaker. The RSI actually was really strong and needed a little bit of a come down after that big breakout. It got towards 86. Now it's back towards the 79, right? So now I'd look for a quick little dip that gets the RSI even maybe back towards like 70 and below, right? And I'm looking for a dip into that 9 EMA to see if it goes, hits that, and gets right back around, right? So we'll look for an attempt back through the support and then a recovery of that support. And we can even use the wick action. We don't need to use, it's 462.12. So we'll edit this 462.12s. We'll put it there. We're going to put a thick line on that. And what we're going to look for is an undercut through that and then a rally through that. So today's trade of the day also is going to be an undercut on this, going down about 4% out the gates. Then all of a sudden, quick move right back up. We'll see what happens here on CrowdStrike. And with this one, you can watch, of course, the other names. PanW. You can watch ZS. You can watch Snow. That's taken a quick pullback after a what? Very similar move. We caught a little bit of an up move here. It kind of faked out. Let's see if the buyers... Oh, wrong chart there. I don't know what happened there. There's Snow. You can see what did it do? And we'll draw this similar chart here. And this is important, guys, because when you see repeatable patterns is how we can really master things, guys. So this has been up there. It attempted to break out, has hit here once, twice, could do it one more time, and then start to get out of there. So that's what I'll be watching for in Snow. A quick undercut out the gates and recovery. We'll see if we get that in Snowflake and others. All right, that's going to do it for the playbook. Let's get to, of course, the Sunrise Report, where we tell you guys about what's going on in the market today and why. All right, well, in today's Sunrise Report, we don't got too much here, but we can go through some of the action, of course. Let's get to the action here, and we'll talk a little bit more. Let me know in the chat, what's your top play of the day with the playbook? You guys see me put this out every single day, and sometimes it's dead on, guys. And some days it's going to be a little off. But the key here, these are stocks that are in play. And that's what we all want. We want to have a list of stocks in play so that we can be ready for the day. All right, the Sunrise Report, of course, brought to you by Trade Report. Brought to you guys by, of course, Trade the Pool. Futures edging higher here after the AI sell-off is the news right now. I don't think there was much AI sell-off, but NVIDIA did pull back a little bit. But it had some good news this morning with Alibaba. So we'll talk a little bit more about what's going on with that. But let's take a look at the S&P, of course, and the SPY. You can see we're just kind of trickling sideways after really falling down yesterday. I was able to play the VXX for a little bit of a lift up for a little while. And, of course, you guys know how I am. I profited into that move and made some really good money on the day trade side too. So we got to talk about that too. Really good bounce back yesterday in the day trade account after a pretty ugly Monday. So pretty much back to break even. And that's what I love, man. Sometimes you can just get right back in as long as you're just continuing to focus on the risk to return. But yes, we're getting this pullback and we're starting to look. Will September stay hot? You guys saw the title in the thumbnail. It's been such a hot September. Usually not what we see, but we're near the end of September here. Are we going to see a little bit of a turn in the markets? It's just on the radar. Nowhere near saying it's happened right now, but look what we're seeing out there. Euphoria in the market is hot, 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 and stocks are just absolutely ripping. So that's one thing that I will be talking with Michael Noss coming up. Like, have you guys seen the move in IonQ? Have you guys seen some of these moves in the quantum names? Like, and that candle right there it's an ugly candle, man. I might have to start early shorts today We'll see what happens. When Michael comes on, you might see me focus, guys. I need to get on it, man. I need to get on it, man. I don't want to short these names early, but I also want to grab the opportunity because at some point we're going to get a quick sweep. These are just squeezing somebody. And I think we're going to finally hear that someone's squeezed out. We'll talk about more about that with Michael Noss coming up. Smash the like. It's good to see you guys out there. We got, of course, my man Jay Angelo in the house. Man, we got to have you back on the show. Come back on the show, man. Let me know. Let's set a date on the calendar. You should be on more often, my friend. All right, what's going on out there? How we doing? Looks like we got James Rank in the house. What's up? What's up? It's good to see you, man. Good morning to you. Excited to kick off the show, of course. Let's keep going. Let's get into a little bit more of this sunrise report today. Of course, the big news, of course, is Micron smashing earnings. Let's get to Micron as it popped on its earnings. It posted strong results here. It had AI memory boom, of course. EPS at 303 cents and versus a 286 estimate. So good beat on the EPS there. Revenues at 11.32 billion versus 11.22 billion estimate. The outlook was 12.5 billion on the revenue guidance versus an 11.94 billion estimate. So the outlook looking good. Overall revenues going higher. Things looking great here. Cloud unit sales up 200%, 4.54 billion. So that's where the real booming of the business is going. And the net income is really impressive here. The net income going from 887 million a year ago, now at $3.2 billion. That is an impressive beat there. The CEO definitely excited about things as the only US based memory manufacturer. Micron is uniquely positioned to capitalize on the AI opportunity ahead. And key thing here, US based. And we got to keep this on watch, guys. Are there going to be more investments by the government? We got to talk about it. All right, let's keep going. Let's talk about the real soaring story here with Lithium America soaring as the Trump stake report. So, of course, LAC surged after Reuters reported that the Trump administration is in talks to take up 10% stake as a part of a DOE loan renegotiation for its Thacker Pass project in Nevada. Of course, ALB is up on this action too. And General Motors actually owns 38% of the Thacker Pass. Now, that is an interesting trade I didn't think about in this. So this is an interesting part that GM owns majority of that. I mean, it's not majority, it's 38%, but it's still a good portion of it. So we'll look a little bit more to see if maybe GM can get a little bit lift on this. Of course, the Thacker Pass is poised to become the largest lithium mine in the Western Hemisphere when it opens in 2028. So we're still ways away from that too. This move echoes Trump's recent 10% stake in Intel, of course, signaling a strategy to secure U.S. supply chains for EV batteries and AI chips. So, hey, we'll see what happens there, and we'll see if LAC can go higher. Of course, you guys know my pick today to look to see if SGML can get going. That stock is on the radar, and we're looking, baby. All right, that's going to be on the radar. We'll talk a little bit more about the action. NVIDIA was trying a little bit of a rebound, of course, as investors were wrestling with the paradox that NVIDIA is central to the AI boom, but some are worrisome that this historic price has already been kind of priced in, right? This big run is pretty much dying out. I think it's still continuing to move, but it's not going to be as sexy, right? It's not going to triple 4 times from here, but can it continue just stair stepping higher? Yeah, there's no reason to bet against it. And you guys know I'm more in that camp that, yeah, like let's get after it. No, there's no reason to bet against this chart at all. But that's I think, the media trying to bring in more of the paradox. All right, guys, the big picture, of course, the S&P 500, it's having some AI trade doubts. At least that's what the media is picturing right now. I highly doubt there's real doubts there. As Micron, of course, crushing earnings, not gonna shake things up there. LAC rocketing, of course, 75% on that Trump stake chatter. We'll talk a little bit more about the action with, of course, Michael Noss coming up here. It's good to see you guys trickling in. Jim, what's up? What's up out there? Alex, How we doing, man? What's a good stock? Let me know what you're looking at. We'll talk so much more, guys. And Steph, of course, coming in early and ready to get after it. Here we go. We got RCT. Okay, we'll take a look at some of these names. Let's really kick off the show. You guys know what time it is. Start that countdown and let's get to the trading action.
Wants 200, baby.
You ready to get back to the trading action?
You aim, you shoot, and make money. It's going to be a great day. You guys know where you're at.
What up, traders? Let's get the show started. Let's bring on the man, Michael Noss. What's up, man? How we doing?
Oh, we're doing well. Looks like the market finally was able to do a small pullback yesterday. And then I heard a lot of bears getting real loud.
They got real juicy, real quick, right?
Even though we couldn't even break yesterday's low or the day before its low.
Yeah, but there is something to be told about this exuberance we're starting to see. I don't know if you believe the exuberance, but this quantum run is someone blowing up, Michael? I don't know if there's positions that are heavy short these quantum names, but something is going on here, Michael, because this looks to me like blowups. And you and I know this action doesn't happen often.
No, this is what we've been, again, I've been pounding the table of this for months. Is that so here's IONQ. So best of breed has a 15% short float. If we go at QUBT, this one has 20% short float. RGTI, this one has a 16% short float. So a lot of these, QBTS, that's the other one, Qubits. D-Wave also has a 20% short float. So again, a lot of these are just positioning, right? Everyone is short, everyone is bearish. The new AAII, I'll grab that investor sentiments. People are more bearish than pretty much they've ever been. People are more short than they've ever been. And go this one here. Right? So it's the 7th week in a row, I think, of people being very, very net bearish. Almost a little bit back to even here, but net bearish for 7 weeks in a row as the market just screams higher. And they're short. So they're not just bearish, they're bearish and short. And that to me, it feels like a blow up, right? And you think about it, if you were short the market, you're probably going to short the shit like companies, like quantum computers that have zero revenue. They have, the thing that they're trying to build doesn't exist.
The fundamentalist out there.
Yeah, the people who believe in valuations and things, they would short those the most, and those are the ones that are getting the biggest bid. So I think that's the beginning of the blow up. I don't think it's the end of the blow up, but I do think that's what we're seeing is just the start of things going very bad for these people.
Yeah, 72% in IonQ in 16 days.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot, and I'm sure that's someone being pressured. And if they haven't gotten out, oh boy, that is some real pressure. I don't care where you got short on this ticker, right? There's nowhere. This is all time highs. I mean,
that's what I talk about, right? A lot of people get excited every time they see a large short float, but you got to remember that you have to combine the short float with the price action. Yeah. If the company's down 99% and 100% of the float is shorted, it's fine. Right? They're not worried. If the company if this is screaming to new highs and they're short, and if you look at the chart of IONQ, you know where they're short. Mm-hmm. And right, they've been shorting basically this entire time. So anywhere between 40 and 20, they're short. Well, now we're up to 80. So you're down 100% on your short. That's when the broker comes a knocking and says, "Hey man, put up more collateral or I'm getting you out of this position, and I'm getting you out of this position at a pretty awful price."
Yeah, even if you got the best price, I'm seeing maybe 60%. So maybe they can handle a little bit more pain, but how much more pain can these guys handle before they hit the out button? And if you look at it also, I mean, there was somebody that got hit hard already right out the gates. There was 50 million, over 50 million shares traded on the 12th. Something tells me there somebody got ran over already, right? That
Well,
big spike of volume usually tells you either that there was a big buyer, and I don't think there was a big buyer that day, just based on the fact that it was already breaking out past this. But that's a big move, man.
well, and they've been shorting more, right? So if we just zoom in since August,
Yeah.
right, every time a new short report comes out, they're adding to this short. So
Yeah, they were trying to
again,
position in here, and I think that day right there, if I was short, that's the day I'm getting out. Maybe I can handle that first day where it goes to like 47, right, and it goes right to the high, and I'm like, oh, well, maybe tomorrow it'll just gap down, right? Then the next day when it just goes towards like 50, you're like, okay, time to get out, time to get out. You know,
talk about it all the time. The problem with these big guys, they can't make decisions like that. They have to put it by compliance. They have to go to investment committee. They got to
yeah.
sit around a boardroom table with everyone else and
Oh,
saying, "I think we should get out." And this other
yeah,
guy, Bill, down the hallway says, "No, no, no. These things are." Then you got Fred over there talking about fundamentals, and so there's
yeah,
like 4 or 5 days of meetings before they say, "Okay, we should get out of the short position." And by
yeah.
then, you're up here in the 60s or 70s.
Maybe they even like de-risk some. Like maybe they got out some, and then we're like, oh no, we'll be fine. Like let's just de-risk a little bit here, and then we'll just hang on if we need to. We'll have some powder to add. No, 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 no. Not with this action. This is making
No,
them run,
Josh.
run, run, run. I think the important thing too is just straight green bars, right? Like there's nothing. And but yesterday we did get a small bar, so I'm just on alert out there for the traders also there, maybe long or maybe just got long this name. Be careful, right? Like at the end of the day, you're playing with fire, just rinsing and repeating these names at these levels. You're
Yeah, and it's
playing with fire.
important. It's important to note you won't know when these guys have covered until 2 weeks later, right? This
Oh
data that I'm
yeah,
showing you is 2 weeks delayed. So there is a world in which this high short float is completely unwound and it's sub 10%, and as soon as it gets like sub 10%, to me that's kind of either a rounding error or could be easily hedged some other way, and it is nothing to look at. But yeah, there's a world in which they're already out, and again, you don't know about it. It's like what I talk about with my open trade. I know that I'm going to miss a bunch from the top because a report's going to come out someday and it's going to be sub 15-20% short, but they may have already gotten out then. You're not going to know till later. So you have to, if you're
yeah.
going to play this short float data, you have to have a very wide view of things. You can't be really kind of lasered in.
All right, guys. Let's celebrate a little bit. LAC starting to look a little bit at some lithium, and there it goes. There is the move, man. And this is just one thing that I feel like I have a tendency of doing, and I need to get the bots more on this kind of theme like approach, right? Because I would have just bought this basket a little while ago, right? It was SQM, ALB, LAC. Those are the three I've been mentioning, right? Just staying with those, right? I
Mhm.
like to mix. I like to look at like one of the smaller names, right? Because you can just get some really good return when that thing
Yeah.
pops, right? And you sell those pops, and then you try to hang on to the quality names like ALB and SQM. So I'm looking at those names to continue that SQM and ALB. I really do like those. But man, what a celebratory on the live account. And I told you guys, one of the best important things in these accounts, really, at the end of the day, is to give yourself a cushion trade, right? And the
Mhm.
only way to give yourself a cushion trade is to take some hits. So we took some hits. You guys see it here. We took some hits. They were measured, but giving myself approaches to get there, right? To get there, right? Even like I shorted Rigetti yesterday with 50 shares. Took a $21 loss though. Not an insane loss there, right? If it fell down massively, could have got us a really good trade. This Ethereum one, it lost twice on Ethereum, right? So then we got this LAC, and I wasn't expecting 900. Let's just be honest. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting more to get towards like 300 or 400 on this. But this is how it is. Survive until you get this, right? Survive until you run into a winner, because that's
Hmm.
the truth. It's running into it. It's not that, I'm some guru out there that know that the US was going to invest in it, but the chart was looking good. The technical analysis was there. The story action in lithium is there, right? With battery storage and more AI conversations, right? Of infrastructure needed. I think that's more the important thing in lithium here than EV talk, because everyone thinks with lithium, oh, it's the EVs. It's not that. It's more of that story developing. But now this gives us a really good kind of push up, right? And now we can start to focus, right? We can start to focus. Average loss, $33, right? So let's try to keep those losses near that range on this live account, $30, $40, and keep looking for those like above $200 winners. If I can get above $200, there's nothing wrong with taking that profit. Success rate, probably going to stay around 20 to 30%. I don't expect it changing too much. So what does that mean? Take it slow, take it looking for a bigger swing, and that's what swing trading is all about, guys. So there you guys have it. Let's keep getting after it and see what we can do in the funded account. And of course, yesterday was also fun in the day trade account, just from the bounce back. But I think what the important part was taking a little bit of some trades, even in the VIX. The Joby trade, I didn't give up with it. I think that was an important one. Joby was like, like this was a wild ride yesterday. It first started a little bit like rough, and then just really nice takeoff in that Joby X. I did the JOBX.
Yeah,
Really nice trade there, guys.
more stories.
Bought at like 36, sold it towards 37, right? The Archer trade, I messed up on this, guys. This is also what I wanted to tell you guys about the learning lesson. This one was a $121 win that I just screwed it up. I had 1,900 shares. I had built up a really good position, and I accidentally just set a stop, just like not really considering that if it was above the 10-cent rule, right? And so that cost me, guys. It literally by 2 pennies, I could have got this actually kind of closed and really made at least $200 on it, right? Or 1,900, 190 on it. But this is a learning lesson. Make sure that you're getting above that. And if you see these red ones, they're going to trick you a little bit on the Trader Evolution, because in Trader Evolution, it's going to tell you that you got the win. But in here, you can see that it's not going to count towards your overall balance. But still was able to make a nice little VIX trade later. So not going to be mad about it, right? Let's keep trading. Risk and reward so far 1.2, success 34%. Let's see what we can do. Average profit 209, average loss 91. So closer to a 2-to-1 outlook, right? All right, let's get to some stocks out here. What are you looking at this morning, Michael, for some trades?
Yeah, I'm mainly focused on the SPY and wondering what's going to make us break this range. Because if you look at any kind of economic number or anything today, there's really nothing. There's new home sales, so that might do something for ITB or pick your favorite home builder, but not really just what the market is focused on right now. So if you bring up the SPY, right, I think the easiest thing to do is to grab just the pre-market high and pre-market low, which has been in a super tight range here, and then just watch the break of either of those, right? So just grab this level. So that's 604 or 467 and 603.50. So 604.50, 603.50, about $1 range. Through that, we can kind of see if there's a continuation. Was that just a head fake lower, or was that some sort of real move that we gotta take a look at? So through that, again, we start to retrace the rest of this move. So I also have a VWAP on from yesterday's close just to see what's going to happen. We're going to get some sort of revision here, but Oracle
Taking a hit there.
do an
I don't see
offering.
an offering. I gotta look to see if there was one, but something happened there. Definitely took a hit. I'll find out about it, guys. I'll let you guys know.
Appointed a new CEO. I don't know.
Yeah, they did that yesterday, the co-CEO thing or whatever. That's like old news. There's something here. Here it is. There's a Bloomberg thing here. Let me find it right here. Give me a second.
Yeah, and you're right. Tech JP Morgan raised the price target. There's been a lot of people writing about Oracle as this is the first one that's actually planning on taking on debt
Ah,
to
there it is.
do their thing. What are they up to?
Yeah, yeah, that corporate bond sale.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what's actually doing it, right? That 15 billion in corporate bond sales. So that's what's doing it, right? It's not an offering, but pretty much an offering, right? It's just a different way to go about it.
Yeah, so Oracle's a little different where the rest of these guys who are spending on AI are just taking from cash reserves or profits and putting it on AI. Oracle's plan is we're going to go into debt to do it, which is, you want to start talking about things that could be the beginning of some sort of bubble or something. It's nothing when you're just taking the profits you're already making and instead of paying a dividend or something, you're doing AI with it.
Yeah.
Once you start leveraging in by taking out debt in order to do it, now we're talking about this is something that could be a little bit of a worrisome thing. Like we remember Meta in when he was big into the metaverse. They changed the name of the company, spent billions of dollars. Investors said, no, this is stupid. And he stopped. There was really no harm to the company because he was just taking profits and throwing them in there. Some profits that probably the shareholders would have liked to get either invested somewhere else or just get given to them in the form of a dividend or something. Now, again, going into debt, layering into debt, that's when things start to get a little bit more dicey because it means if things go bad, well, you're leveraged, so things go very bad.
All right.
Does
I
OKLO is that a joke? Does OKLO make any profits? No. OKLO doesn't make any revenues. Like they don't have anything. They don't sell anything. So listen, if you want to say pockets of euphoria, it definitely feels like some of these like really crazy
yeah.
names like the
I mean,
SMRs and
Euphoria is not going to go everywhere, but like in the momentum, the growth stocks,
yeah, these
they're
these
showing it, man.
yeah, these feel like very retail kind of favorite moves. But yeah, they don't have
CIFR, CIFR, Cipher Mining. Some of these mining stocks just ripping.
yeah, they don't have yeah, you look here, this is the balance or the income statement for OKLO. They have zero in revenue. They have not sold a single thing. Not even like a hat. They should start like making hats or something so they can show $1 in revenue and say, "Yeah, look, we're not a pre-revenue company anymore."
It's wicked. It's wicked, some of these moves, man. APLD now 25. Do you guys remember I brought this name at 11 to us? Well, that's when I started talking about that name. That thing is now 20, almost
Mhm.
25, man. It's been an
This
absolute
is
monster ride, too.
bull market behavior. This is one of those, right? You want to kind of make hay here while the sun shines. No one knows when the party's going to end. Could be next year, could be 10 years from now.
Archer and Joby on the watch today to continue. These daily charts, I don't know how you feel about them, Michael, but they just seem to me like they've held in long enough to now give them a chance to run again. Sometimes it's like that.
Yeah.
Like when you make a big run, you just need to hold in long enough. If you hold in
Well,
long enough, you can start to approach a little bit of some consolidation and turnaround.
yeah, and you can see that with a lot of the nuclear names, right? They're not like
Exactly.
OKLO is going crazy, but the rest of them, SMR,
That's why
NNE.
I like NNE because it
Yeah.
has a tendency of really consolidating. Like SMR is more that momentum move, and then NNE has just been really driven in.
Yeah. And and this is a good point as well, right? Uranium URNM is up 46%, while spot uranium's up 12. Is there it's people trying to leverage for the future of AI.
Yeah,
That's the whole game right
exactly.
now. Is they're saying, okay, what? And then also, I think I had an interesting conversation with a hedge fund manager when I was in Toronto, and he mentioned that him and his firm were buying quantum computers
Mm,
as a hedge against. He said because what kills AI or what kills cryptocurrencies is like an actual working quantum computer. If you get a quantum computer going, all crypto goes to zero overnight, and then the AI becomes a completely different beast once you can run it via a quantum computer. So
Yeah.
he just took he's like, we took a small bit of the fun and we just popped it in there as a, hey, if these things start to wake up and start to go crazy, I want to make sure I own some, because it would completely, reimagine what all these things would be. So yeah, just more of a hedge, right? Because again, the whole story is AI.
Have you seen this biotech right now? This is absolutely ripping. The QURE, it is pushing strong again.
What are they? What are they carrying
It's
here?
I have no idea, but it's on the top of the board. That's all I can say.
Brain disorder.
Yeah, it looks like it had some endpoints on a study. I'm not
Oh,
sure if
was
it
that?
was phase 2 or was it third trial, but definitely getting the rip. It halted this morning at 7:30 with news. It was a news halt, so you already know how those start to really think
Oh, Huntington's.
higher.
Yeah,
Oh,
they can slow. They've been It's been proven to slow the rate of Huntington's, which is a nasty one. It's good for them. I always feel good when I see like they're not YOLOing fart coin or anything like that. It's like we are helping the world and helping people in need, and then the stock price goes up. I'm like, every time I see something like that, I'm like, okay, nature's healing.
yeah,
This is what should happen.
yeah,
You're helping people, and then the company rips. Good for you.
yeah. You cure cancer, your stock should go up to 40 from 10, right?
Yeah.
You know what I
Eh,
mean? Like, if
You've
not more.
decided that you're YOLOing Fartcoin now because your advertising agency is breaking. You shouldn't go up. What was QMM, like 2,000% in a day?
I don't know if
Like,
it's related, but there's another medical device company up a good amount today. CLPT,
oh,
ClearPoint.
look at this. I'm not gonna lie. This chart actually doesn't look bad. I just brought this up as a joke with this QMMM. Man,
Yeah,
it's holding. It's been
it's
holding
that's
that
like we
move.
just talked about, right? Like if they can just hold long enough, you can leave the potential for the breakout. And what are we seeing in the market right now? Euphoria. So it's not time to run and short these names. It's time to potentially look for a long here.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
keep
you know what I
dancing while the
mean?
party's on, right? Keep.
And this is when you have to, like I'm talking about, and I even said it yesterday, and then we got to get focused in. We're almost 9:27, but what I said yesterday, and I was sitting around and I was just trying to think about how the way the market's been working lately, and I thought to myself, I was like, these are the moments when you make your career, guys. Like these are the moments when you can actually make not a year, but a
Mhm.
career in the markets. These are the moments when we have to be able to get out of the risk adversity mindset, take small hits, but make big returns when you're in these positions. And if you can do that, you can bend your equity curves to like way higher. Just get that going parabolic itself. And that's how you make moves, guys. You got to know when the gas pedal's on. The gas pedal's on the markets right now. Let's see if we can stay hot.
We missed the 90s, right? 1999 to 2000. It was obviously not trading then. I was just being born. But if we're going to do the same thing, if it's going to be, just make sure you have a plan to get out when the 2000 crash happens, our version of it. But till
Mm-hmm.
then, I know people who retired, like 20, 30-year-olds who just
Yep.
bought the right stuff and had the guts to hold on for long enough, and had the, more importantly, the wherewithal to exit when the market was definitely showing you it was time to exit, and full on
AMD
retirement.
pushing strong
So
already, guys, right before the bell. So that is a name that has a really nice hourly chart on the playbook. Strong,
yeah,
strong actions there. Oof, immediate buyer out the gates there. 163, 3,000 shares, and then 1,300 shares. So pretty much like 4,500 shares right out the gates. You got to be ballsy to do that on AMD, but someone stepped up to the plate right there.
yeah, we're
We're
watching
open.
this consolidation. We've got 2 minutes.
Yeah, that QMMM, I would keep it on alert. I'm not going to trade that in the live account, of course, but I think it's important to have some alerts out there today for big rips on stocks that you think can get that type of move.
Yeah, so we've got a minute and a half to go. Again, the S&P 500 just consolidating very nicely here. Again, we're going to watch this 664 and a half and see if we can just punch through that off the open. Again, if another down move like we had yesterday gets negated the next day, it's gonna be pretty wild. And like Mitch was saying, right, we've got a minute left, but over the last 5 minutes or so, the market has just been rocketing here. So right into the open, if you start to see buyers, sometimes that can be an early sign that there's someone trying to get in before what they think is going to happen with the market just ripping.
I like to give all types of names. Higher quality name, ARM, daily chart looks pretty interesting to me on that pullback. The key is you've had that nice little bottoming look off of the 141. So that 141 looks like it's trying to hold this morning. And it seems to me like there's a buy program on now. Like I'd look for that to rip right towards 143 and not look back. But that's just there's so many stocks to look at for me. I can't trade all those, but I can at least put them on alert for you guys, right? Like
Well, and
that's
this
all I
is
can do.
we'll talk about this soon, maybe later when the market calms down. Is ratio charts, right? You'll see a lot of technicians around now using
Mhm.
ratio charts because not about what's going up, because everything's going up. It's about what's going up the most, and that's
Yeah,
what the ratio charts are
USAR
going to
was a
show us.
name yesterday I gave you guys that was really on my alert, and that broke out really beautiful above the 17. That's a metals and minerals play, like that's been on absolute fire. Got some alerts right out the gates here, so looking around out there, guys, got to take advantage when you get those alerts. Let's get after it. SGML starting to push there. That looks interesting for me on that name. Keeping it really close and watch there. Archer doing that dip down towards the support. That might be an attempted here buy on the day trade side. Archer $10 spot. That's the support.
SPY
Looking for undercuts.
got a little bit shy there right off the jump, right? We got close to that overnight high, and now we're pulling back off of that. So we want to see that obviously stick the landing and hold for just a little bit. And yeah, we're pushing down. So this is the low end of the pre-market range, and then post-market again, we've got 633.50. If we get there, that could be a continuation of what we saw yesterday, which wasn't dramatic by any means, but a little bit of a sell-off. So we got to keep an eye there.
SGML ripping already, guys. That's up to 670s. I'm going to look for a day trade on that just because I didn't get the pullback that I needed on that name. But SGML on the radar, this is the lithium name. Archer just got triggered there for me. I'm in Archer, $10 spot there on the dip. 670s on SGML, already getting a nice little lift from the 640s. This is the name I'm looking for a rip out above 7. Lithium name. Beautiful looking chart. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, I'm looking here. You guys know I love the psychedelic sector. PSIL finally did a nice clear of this anchored view app from all-time high yesterday. Huge strong move up. We had a big strong move in MindMed, which is my primary holding. The rest of those did okay. Cybin, CMPS, these have been definitely the dogs of the space for sure. We've had a nice little push here off of MindMed. See if we can get through that 1025 area.
Archer,
This is what I'm
beautiful,
watching.
beautiful. I'm gonna try to get Joby on this. The same similar move though.
So far,
All right,
hopefully
long some
Bruins
Joby,
going on.
long some
Rigetti falling
Joby.
out of bed.
Gonna risk off the low there. I'm gonna risk down towards 657. Yeah, 657 already set. This is on the live trade. Got trades on, boys. Let's go.
Yeah, look at the fall off here in Rigetti. What about the rest? IONQ. Yeah. QUBT. Yeah, that as well. Huge spike right off the open here, and then just giving it up right back into the range there. Keep an eye on those because those are our kind of tip of the spear, I guess we could look at it. The really speculative type names.
Another name to look at in the space right there, QMCO.
Yeah, that one's not moving as much. So not a huge amount of liquidity there. It's a good one to
Yeah,
watch.
this is a squeezer type.
First trade came in here on whatever a CRK is. Comstock Resources. Nice 3 days up in a row, looking at that overextension for the third day and the trade that go on there. Again, yesterday was an awesome, awesome day. Showed you guys the positions. They were all short, and the market just gave it back yesterday. So that was a great day. See if we can continue that move today. Oh, I see someone.
All right,
Who is
let's.
there?
Oh, the one, the only. Hold on, I gotta go full screen for this, even though I'm
Oh,
focused.
wait. Yeah, because I have bring him on. I've got something to show him.
Wasabi.
What is up, guys? It is good
I
to be
picked
back.
this. I got this given to me in the trip to Toronto.
Oh, Fibonacci is my homeboy.
Look at that. I
What
had
do
to
you
wear
think
that
about
one for
that? What
free.
do you think about that, Steve?
I'm all about it. I'm here for it. Let's go. How we doing today?
All right, guys, just got out of Joby there. Took first hit on the live account, $33 down there. It was a good approach there with Archer on. Looking for Archer to get going here off the $10 spot.
Yeah, I dug that deep out of the closet when I saw
Boom,
it.
boom,
Saw
boom.
you were coming on. I'm like, oh, I just got it. So it's unwashed, so I might get whatever chemical that that China made it for. And usually you want to wash these things before you wear them. But it's good to see you, bud. What are you watching? What are you
Coming
looking
back
at?
today.
I am watching HNG right now just because that's a swing trade that is messing with me. It wants to go, but it just won't. So I'm keeping an eye on that. There's a few other setups I'm looking at. If SPY wants to be heavy, I think SOC is pretty compelling here for a move up to 27-ish. So that's a name on my list. A little bit of energy exposure, a little bit of healthcare. I want AAOI to work. I'm just not sure it can, but I'm watching for a reclaim of 28 here.
All right. We can go to your screens too, Steve. So share, and then it's going to be under Josh's scene right now, but that will at least be ready to go for you, my friend.
Yeah, sure thing.
Yeah, man. I'm excited to have you back on, man. All right, let's see if SGML can get going. That's one of my top names in Lithium to watch for today, and I like it, guys. I have it already in the day trade account. I might add here. It could break out through 7, but of course, I'm going to hold it tight if it doesn't go for the 7 breakout here. But looks good here. Archer, though, pulling back there. Now back towards the 990s. Could break some of the support right here and go towards the lower support, which is the 980s undercut. So ready to get out on Archer if needed through the 985s.
Yeah, the whole market is going to be a little careful. We've been
Yeah,
down.
you got to be careful. Got to be careful. They're going to
Don't
calm us.
ever-
They're going to tame us a little bit.
If we break yesterday's kind of post market low, then I think we could get a little bit of continuation. And again, a healthy pullback is needed. Take the trees a bit.
Oh, LAC up towards almost $6 already out the gates. Undercuts 5, right back up there to 577. Little part of me was wondering if I should hold that trade yesterday, but I was like, man, I got to get rid of this. It was just too much, too fast. You should have seen my eyes when I opened the account, man. I was on my phone and I was like, don't screw this up, Mitch.
What a catch! So you were just in there for the chart, and you just got your catalyst.
Come on, baby. Steve,
Oh, baby.
talking to Money Mitch, baby.
I don't know what I'm thinking. Of course you did. Of course you did.
Who was talking Intel before the Intel move happened?
Somebody. I don't know. Somebody did pretty okay on that
The
trade.
key is the charts. The patterns speak to me sometimes, man. That's all it is, man. And then I like to set up a little bit before when I see that tight consolidation around trend lines and things like that, right? And I think that's the important thing is more focusing on those charts instead of the ones that are already broken out because I can't do nothing about that, right?
Exactly.
Like if it's like gone so far away from me, there's not much I can do, guys. You know, I think
Yeah.
that's the important thing. Stick to what you can do versus, something that you miss.
Man, you're so dead on. For me, for those high flyers that I missed, like I get FOMO doing nothing. So what I do now is I just put them in a watch list and I just wait for every day. I'll look at them and wait for them to set up. So that makes me feel like I'm not actually missing them. I'm just waiting for them.
Yeah.
So I'm totally with you.
Yeah. I really do like SDML today. So I'm going to try to be smart here. I might take a small cut down and then look to kind of get back in here. It is going to be a name that I think is in play at some point today. So I just got to be smart. Watch for the 650 reload. And if it holds there, that's fine. I got 645 stop on SGML.
One name that is strong today and that I do like from a longer term swing perspective, and I'm lagging on my screen setup. I'll get that up in just a
No
second.
worries, no worries. You see, because I'm coming to you fast. You already knew me.
But GitLab, that one's interesting to me. Let me get that going.
GitLab. Haven't seen GTLB, right?
Yeah, GTLB, kind of a AI software as a service play there. Let me
Okay.
Yep.
It looks like
figure
it's
out what's going on here. Hold on.
it looks like it's trying to get there. I'll put mine up. I got that.
Yeah, I've got the SPY here too.
Here.
Just FYI, we're
Spies.
bleeding.
A spy bleeding a little bit. Bleeding. We bleeding. I talked about it. It might try to tame us a little bit the first half an hour of the day today. Look at that Ion Q though. That's the one I should be watching. RCAT falling like a rock.
Oh man, I'm in that as a swing. That one was working real well.
Yeah, the thing is, is that you got to the way that RCAT works, stair steps. UMAC is the flyer.
UMAC
You
is
see
what?
how UMAC,
ONBS?
UMAC,
UMAC. All right.
UMAC. It runs. I talked about it on Trader TV that one would lead this rally, one would lag. UMAC has that tendency of gas firing out, like it just gasses and then slowly trickles back. But RCAT is that stair step type of move where you can buy the dip, sell the rip, buy the dip, sell the rip, buy the dip, sell the rip kind of stock.
Love it. I love it. Those are so much fun to just like position trade, like trade around
Yeah.
a core position.
Yeah,
swing
like
in, swing out.
recently, like I played that first 10 towards like 11 move on like the Tuesday the 16th, and then it came right back to 10. And I was like, well, maybe let's just watch for it to go right back to 11. It's exactly what it did, man. And
Yeah,
sometimes
it's
that's playing the range, right? Just playing the range, the daily range.
absolutely.
SDML still looking really good here. I think it's going to go for an attempted rip above 7 here. A little part of me is like, where's that SDML 2 times leverage name? Because I want it in the live account, but I already got it in the day trade account.
Wow, Intel's
I
strong.
wish there was one, Michael. There isn't one, at least that I know of.
Would not surprise. I don't think anyone here if you said there was a.
So here's how I'm approaching this, right? So I expect to break out towards 7. So I'm going to do a buy stop where most people don't talk about those. I'm just going to do a buy stop through my entrance. If it goes back through my entrance, I'll add.
I like that.
Especially
Yeah,
on
a lot of
stop
people
like
are-
SDML.
Sorry, I was just going to say a lot of people balk at the idea of like, oh, if it goes higher, I'll buy. But often that's the trigger that you need,
Yeah.
It needs to clear a certain level.
LAC pulling back there, right back now and down. We'll look to see if it bounces off the VWAP
this-
with 9 EMA.
SPY has just been bleeding a little bit here
Relentless.
from the open.
Yeah, and I think that's a lot of the momentum names starting to come off. AUR, Ion Q, Rubrics, HIMS, UMAC,
Yeah, the
APLD, Grail, SoFi, Tempest,
see-
Apple. Sorry, just running through the names so that you could see the damage out there.
Well, and it's funny if you look at IWM
Coming
right
to you.
here. So there's small caps. This is small caps. They're
Hanging
holding
in
up
there.
fine from the open, and then
That's-
you look at Qs,
That's important.
just about to tick red. And again, we've been seeing it just it's been punching you in the face over and over again. Also, even RSP. So your average large cap stock doing just fine. The small guys or the huge guys, the mega cap dudes, those are the ones having the biggest problems. But yeah, if you're in the average stock seems to be holding up just fine. So really, really pay attention, right? This is a very much a pick your battles market, right? Make
Yeah.
sure it's probably time to leave some of these big guys alone for a while and chase or trade what everyone else is trading, which is
Nope.
most
Look at
speculative
FLNC. That name says, you know what? You bring out AI news, you bring out infrastructure news. Well, guess what? This is exactly what we're looking for. More lithium use, more things. So there's FLNC pushing off towards 1178 now. You guys know I talked about this name for how long in the 7s? In the 7s. We're almost there to 12, guys. That's 82% now. Breakout on FLNC. Guys, I try, my friends. I'm going for an LAC move here, guys. I'm long it here. I'm seeing SGML look like it wants to go. I'm back in on the live account on LAC. Gonna risk off like kind of the 545 area. Really looking for this to just send towards 6 and then just keep going. Right now, we're in that market, guys. So I'm willing to step up to the plate here on LAC based on the close of Tuesday's action, 547. We reclaim that. Let's see if it did to send it. Let's go. There they go. Starting to get some buying there. Some big buyers starting to go through there. Now at this point, can just break even and look for it to go. Why break even? Because this is the one that I have the cash in, guys. I can maybe do like a $10 risk or 15. Let's do like a small risk here, 550s. You just look for it to go. SGML, I'm going to look for it to go with it. So what is this? Algorithmic pickup. I'm looking for that to all play in at the same time. So I'm looking for SGML takeoff, LAC takeoff, right? So let's see what happens here.
I like the LAC there. That's looking very strong stuff.
Yep. And I did get the ad in SGML. So now I have 400 shares SGML and looking for that to kind of go higher. The key, I'm going to hold this really close on the first amount. It's like a $54 risk, just in case I need to resize in and get back in. Stay small until we get the breakout. Let's keep playing.
Yeah, it's funny. So LAC just took the #1 spot on StockTwits as for mentions. So
well, tell the guys at StockTwits to start watching Trade the Pool when you go over the next time.
Well, it's just take that as you may. Sometimes I've noticed as soon as these nerds start talking about it, that could be.
Yeah, but the key here is that a lot of times those stocks that are leading that don't probably have the U.S. government trying to buy it.
Yeah. Speaking of that, Intel, very strong today. So wonder if that's a theme here.
Yeah, it definitely looks like a little theme. They're coming to hunt me, guys. I'm going 547. They just quickly went to that 550. They're trying to hunt some stops right now. You see them getting triggered there. 8,000 shares at 51s. So the stops are getting triggered right now at 550s. Could give myself a little bit more, but I have too much green. Let this stop me out if it needs to at 548s.
I like that. This out, Steve. This is Intel, and this is the pick lines, the AVWAP from right at the high of the announcement, and we're just right back there because that's kind of my plan to get involved in this. I wanted to see it hold, the base that had been broken out of for years. So if we get a like a solid 30-minute close or something above this line,
just figured out right on the kiss,
right on the announcement there,
right on the kiss, like they didn't see me. They saw a bunch of stops at 550. They came and grabbed them, guys. We'll see if they send it.
Yeah, only one trade for the bot so far, and that's the CRK short. So far, it's been
struggling, guys.
A little bit.
VIX is an opportunity today, I think, and I got to watch for that because if this IonQ takedown continues, it could be the sign that the disaster's here. We were just talking about these names, how extended they were, and pow, they got hit. QUBT rejected also, and Rigetti's just 7% down now.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. You're getting some bleeding.
And we're talking 7% from the open, right? So really good bleed there.
The SPY, not quite to my kind of line in the sand, right? That's about 633 or 663. And, if I look at that, I say, okay, if we break that, then odds are we're doing another leg lower, maybe into the high 650s, mid 650s.
All right, stepping out of SGML for the time being. I still like the charts, guys, on both. I'm just looking for the momentum to come in.
One name that I am watching long here that I'm involved in is NXE. It's a uranium laggard that I think could be breaking out of a multi-year base. I can pull that up.
Oh, why don't you pop it up there, Steve?
Okay. Let's get that liquidity move.
Pretty clean breakout here so far.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see if
that's an energy play. It's an AI kind of sympathy thing, or
I believe it's uranium. I need to learn a little bit more about them. I just hopped right in. I sometimes worry about learning too much about the plays that I enter because it makes me too bullish about them.
There you go. I like that too. Again, I've got a rule. If I'm ever Googling what a company's fundamentals are, I got to sell.
Yeah. It shows like you're trying to match a narrative. It's like, wait, now I'm a narrative trader? What's going on?
No, wrong thinking. At least in my eyes, wrong thinking.
No, that
Guys,
means
that's how you build conviction.
Mm.
That's how you build the word conviction. There's one thing that's what your eyes can see. There's a whole nother thing is if you can combine variables. We got to
yeah,
be able
that's
to combine
fine to do
variables.
before you get into a trade.
Oh,
Again, if you're in a trade,
completely. After the fact, I mean, yeah, you're just doing it
yeah,
completely
wouldn't
reversed,
be
right?
willing.
Yeah.
Because other than that, I don't.
If you're trying to keep conviction, that's another problem. That's a whole other problem. But
So
yeah,
I am short SPY here. It rejected the
dang,
developing
everything's
point of
hitting me.
control. I've got a tight
Vic,
stop on it. It's mostly a hedge for my longs that I don't want to tap out on here. There's the trigger for Q's short.
tight long again in LAC.
Yeah, the LAC looks good.
I'm going
Yeah.
for it, and then I'm also looking at VIX for the long. A
Ooh,
combination trade here.
yeah, the SPY is we're leaking here. So this is
All right, 100 shares on the VXX.
this was my line, right? And the idea is simply just the post market low from yesterday. So we're now through that. So unless we reclaim it quick, that could be donezo. And we're just
Watch.
watching to see if we defend yesterday's low. But
There we go. Both trades in the live account going green there. Right off the back here. Now I want to see the VXX try to just maybe make an attempt to like 34.15s, but really take off through the 34.30s. We want to see these other Ion Q just keep getting hit. Don't come back to VWAP. Just keep getting plowed down. That's what's going to tell me more and more. Risk off and VIX kind of day.
what a boring day for the bot. One trade.
There we go.
One.
Like that move on SGML and sizing starting to come in. So I'm stepping right back into SGML on the long side. And I'm stepping up, boys. 1,000 shares.
Let's go.
So play it small, play it small, play it small. Once I saw the price action go the direction that I'm looking for, willing to step up and swing. Swing hard, right? Michael, what's the quote?
Mm-hmm.
What's the quote from
Swing the
S&P?
bat hard when you see it.
Swing it hard when you see it. I'm seeing it now. LAC now starting to move in the right direction. Now we're looking good. We're up into the green. Need this to just break out of this symmetrical triangle and go. This was a symmetrical triangle breakout. Now it needs to just maybe throw back, but really get going is what we're looking for. VIX starting to get going there too. Now on VIX, I'm up already like 10 cents. At this point, can go break even and let the VIX work for me. VIX is a trade that it's more about breakouts. So when I get it, it's don't show my hand really early. Let it pop in my direction and then show my hand. Then you can come back and get me. But you already started to go in my direction.
Yeah, I'm just watching. So we continuing to bleed here. So, and the only thing that we have on the agenda that could save us here would be new home sales, but not really a big market
Out
moving
LAC
number.
there, break even. And you see they
So
swept it and swept it right back. They're sweeping that thing. And there's a big buyer. There's a 25,000 share order there at 61s. Someone stepped up to the plate, 25,000 shares. So I'm going to step out of LAC even though I see it. I just don't want to spend too much of my profits, right? So I've spent about 63 trying to capture this. Not going to get too much out of my skis, but I do think it starts going. Now what I want to see is a break of 6 and then maybe come back. But let it show me the move. And what is that going to do? That's going to rip out my SGML, right? So now I'll just stick with SGML trade here on the day trade side. Look for this to break out. Not just keep trying to double dip, triple dip, because then you just get wrecked, right? So AMD also bull trap. I'm seeing a lot of bull trap right out the gates, and that's a scary sign. We could be really digging deep here.
I'm looking at SOC under 23. It's lagging energy and it's got a nice gap above. If it can pull a U-turn today, it could post a nice hammer candle and kind of reclaim. So
the VIX came down and it cut me out, and then it came right back up there. So I'm trying to play it a little bit here. Went right back into it. Remember, break even on that exit. Still trying to play a little bit of some VIX now.
yeah, the SPY is still above yesterday's low. which is pretty much in line with the day before's low. So I think we've got to see what happens there. We've got a couple lows just in an idea. So I don't. It's like we're in no man's land. We've definitely been really weak off the open. I would expect some sort of bounce if it's just a relief bounce here. I wish my one trade, which was a short, was participating in this, but I'm down $3.50, boys. I don't know. If I'm gonna ever financially recover from this.
It's so over, as the boys would say. But we'll be so back in the next one.
It's donezo.
LIC, that's still cooking. So let's see if we get what you're looking for. That flip through a 6 and then a back test.
I'm liking this VIX trade here. I'm just trying to stay calm about it. I think that's the important thing. If we're gonna get a breakout, we can get a 2-point move, like a 1-point move. So forget about the 10 cents right now. Just be small enough to stay in the party and look for that type of pop. I talk about these all the time. The first pop on VIX, usually about 30 cents. VXX. I watch it so much, guys. I'm telling you, 30 cents is the pop. Then a lot of times we get these 60 cents to $1 range expansions. So that's what I'm looking for. More of that 60 cents to $1. Yesterday, I'll show you guys the move. Literally, what did it do? From 34.20s, where did it go? Right to 34.76. Right in that sweet spot. Sold it into that breakout. Like, this is how you got to play the VIX. You got to be able to get cut out plenty of times. And then when it does work, it's going to give you that nice return. So keep playing with a good risk to return on that, and you just might catch another run.
Yes, sir. I'm keeping an eye on XLE here as a gauge of risk on, risk off sentiment as well. It's you don't want to see energy this strong if you're trying to see the indices catch. So let's see what's going on there.
A huge breakout yesterday in oil and oil services companies.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that's continuing. It's the positioning talked about a little bit on Monday on crude oil. They're never short because the commercial hedgers are always short. So everyone, the net speculator is always long, but they are the least long. I can bring it up here. They are the least long that they've been in ages. So if you are looking for a pop here in oil, this makes a good sense as a time to do it because this is
There
kind
goes
of
LAC, man.
the more offside that these guys have been in a long time here.
Mhm.
And I'm trying to zoom out here. So it might be the least long people have been. And then in the for the small speculators, they're almost short, which is just unheard of in the oil space.
Spicy setups. I like it.
I love when positioning is offsides.
That's the bread and butter, right? For these swings. That was the thesis for why I got in China before I kept researching and was like, oh wait, this actually has legs. I thought it was just way over positioned, heavily against in the past, I'm talking like the end of
Everybody
last
hated it. Yeah, it was the word uninvestable kept popping up if you looked at for anything for China, and you're like, "What you say uninvestable?" So that
year.
to me means I want to invest heavily in it.
And I did.
Well, guys, LAC definitely a miss there, but man, the trade was there. I got maybe too a little picky, but what is that? Me trying to make sure that today's not a wipeout after a big gain, right? Which is okay. Like, one of the things that you have to do as a trader is also not get too upset about like this trade, right? Because the eyes were great. It was just that risk adversity of a huge gain from yesterday that played in a little bit in that psychological factor, right? So I think this is one that, you put a pat on the back and you keep moving forward. If this takes off without us now, that's okay too. But the setup was there. We looked for it and we tried to play it, got cut out, and we keep playing. That's the way it goes, guys. So LAC is still looking great though. SGML like kind of pulling back and doing this 5-minute move that I'm looking at right now. Look at this setup. So you see the 5-minute move. You see how kind of like played there, it trapped some buyers there at 74, playing on this 90 MA VWAP. It needs to keep reloading here. Maybe even doing a dip to like 655s and then give you that breakout. So try to stay within a range that you can handle if you're in SGML. Right, so it needs a lead through 7. VIX still in, guys, and I put the risk below this wick in the pre-market, the 33.85s. So this really gives me the opportunity of doing the strategy that Michael and I talk about often, right? The undercut and rally, exact trade in the VIX though, right? It recovers VWAP, starts to hold VWAP. And now at this point, if this candle can close on a 5-minute basis above VWAP, I can literally just hold VWAP from that point on mentally, right? And then look for this to break out. And like we talked about, I'm looking for like 60 cents to $1 on the pop and a real wipeout look on those momentum names. Let's see if we get it.
Yeah, just monitoring everything here. And the
Coming to
bleeding
you.
is kind of stopped for now, but is this a real bounce? Is it just a little bear flag setting up? Who knows? We need a little bit more time. Now, in 1 minute, we've got the number, and like I talk about all the time, it's not going to be a number that's really it's not like an FOMC number. It's going to kick the market or anything. But there are a lot of systems out there that say, just wait until whatever number takes place, that first half hour is done, and then kind of move from there.
A lot of volume coming in that VIX, so that shows me more and more. I'd like to look at kind of how the VIX options are doing today, but that's not my game, so I'm going to stay out of it.
Yeah, that's just volatility on volatility seems a little wild for me.
I'm getting notifications about some weird flow on PRME. Wow, LAC is powering through. PRME, though, this one's interesting to me. Someone bought a whole bunch of 9 strikes. There, it's a $5.50 stock, and their monthly is
Oh yeah, this looks good, man. Looks prime.
Oh, see, I like
ah,
that. That's
Haha,
again
prime, pun intended.
haha.
the
So what tells me this hourly undercut, liquidity move to 540s. Look for that liquidity move to come in and then a recovery of 550s. Yesterday's resistance right around the 540s. So you undercut that and rally. That's the way I'd look at this.
Okay, yeah.
A lot
yeah,
of times we go back.
I love that stuff. I love that's something I want to study. The problem is getting historical data for it is so hard.
Yeah.
But getting that as a move or a ticker seems like that's the move. Where I talk about positioning all the time. There's no better positioning than somebody who dumps a whole bunch. Now, could this just be some idiot who's just YOLOing that it's going to absolutely? But
Yeah.
it makes you watch and say, well, why would somebody spend? Because not only are they they're just buying the stock because they like the company, they're making a very specific bet over a very specific time frame, and why. And again, could be an idiot, but
LAC just hanging up at the top tells me more and more. There's algos in here that could keep driving all day, guys. I think this more is like maybe even like family businesses and stuff like that that already had this. They're like, yeah, please add to LAC.
What I will say about it right now is that candle for me was spooky. So I would be waiting to see that reclaim and then back test that 6
Yeah.
like you're looking
Yeah,
for.
yeah, exactly. The 6 level is the important level to look for.
Mhm.
Let's be honest. Like this is all going to be looking kind of sideways until you break that 6. That's when you break it. Of course, the pop, the 610, right? That's what you really want to reclaim today to show you the continued strength. Maybe day 2, day 3. Let's see if the VXX wants to go. Here's the attempted spike there. They're trying to spike it. Let's see if it spikes and goes. Can Money Mitch call the turn? And this isn't the live account, guys, so you know I'm definitely feeling it.
Wow, LAC, there it goes for the reclaim. Nothing's
Yeah,
wrong.
LAC it was relentless. And then this out right here is the tough one, man. This one right here at the 545. It's like,
gosh.
2 haircuts. I could still get in LAC on the day trade side. I just wouldn't take the swing on this. So like, let's say a 6 scalp. There's nothing wrong with that, but that would be more in my day trade account than my swing.
Yeah.
I'm not going to take a scalp type of trade in the day trade, the swing account, right? That just doesn't make sense.
I'm
AMD still looking weak. How's big tech looking? Because I feel like that's where the trouble is. Also, we're not getting that lift today.
Oh yeah, Mags is nearly at yesterday's low. I was just take a look at.
Looking like it's trying to break low here. Google down, and Meta was really strong. Also pulled back. Meta could be maybe a leader through the 760 if it starts coming back. You guys know I always give perspective on both sides, so that would be kind of the look. See Meta kind of start coming back to 760. Some of the bigger names. How's Tesla doing? Tesla's leading a good rally, so that's not a bad name to see up. Tesla trying to get towards that 440 again. We'll see what happens.
Spy just woke up.
I was going to say, yeah, trying to dig in here, trying to retake that. So I talked about again this level. And again, this is not a fancy level. This is where we bounced a couple times in the post market yesterday. Undercut that. Now it looks like we're trying to get back through. So
Yeah,
trying to
see what
dig in
happens
there.
here.
Qs went green again, so back green just barely, right, up 0.01%. IWM still leading the charge. Look at this thing, almost back to highs. So some good relative strength in your smalls there. GNRC Tech keeps talking about. Is there a storm coming? I know there's just like a very typical trade where people, oh man, I got smoked yesterday. Nice little bounce today.
Wow. So there's a rocket back to VWAP. Looks like we want to go green today.
Yeah, SPY just flipped. Q's flipped. Everything across the board here. Mid caps, small caps, leading. So just one more of those. Just don't. And again, it's the big cap dance. I don't want to say it's over, but it's delayed. We could say it's on hold.
I think Prime is going here. Just took a little bit of a starter at 550.
Yeah, I took a shot on Ion Q short. Looking really nice now.
At Prime, what you use? What is it? Unusual whales? Is that where you get them from, or you got your own kind of secret
This
alert?
is actually coming from my buddy who I believe is using Black Box. I'm not 100% sure. I don't think it's the Unusual Whales. It's either Black Box or the other one that I'm forgetting.
There's a couple services that do it that I've been looking into, but again, my whole thing is I need to test it, right? I need to be able to see, but it makes perfect sense, right? I mean, somebody's either in the know or often, I know that there's some funds out there that will put out or buy a bunch of these out of the money calls or puts, and then start bullying the stock to push it after that. So
Go
Right.
down.
Man,
Go
Spy
down, Ion Q. Go down. Go wash them. I'll take it.
yeah, we're down today. And my one trade, which is a short, is not doing well. So let's see, kind of wake up. I've checked it's like 3 times to make sure the bot's working. It's like, yeah, it's working. It's not a lot happening, which is fine, right? Again, old me would be just itching, saying, take more trades, man. And old man me is
Ooh,
like, okay,
Ion
probably
Q,
knows
baby.
something.
Let's go. Let's go, Ion Q. Ion Q coming down. Let's go. It's a classic trade. VWAP fade, right?
Yeah.
Reject the feed, the VWAP, fade it on the VWAP. To me, it's perfect. Let's go. Now Q's just just get down for me. Give me that.
IWM is holding strong. Yeah, the Qs are definitely leading the charge lower here. This is definitely one of those. If you look at the IWM trying to dig in, it's looking real good. And then you look at the SP 500, it's just not able to participate here.
It's trying there, but it's still not looking great.
Well, so it's one of those that if we dig in here and we dig in from the laggers up, right? If big cap tech stops going down, all that, it's the IWM. I think has kind of already proved itself that it wants to rip.
Yeah.
We just need that to hang out.
Stop ad on SGML above 675. So that would take me to 2,000 shares SGML. Price action continuing to hold. That's my cue, right? Price action holds. Just what do we talk about? Being able to swing when needed. I love this setup. It just needs to now start to rise off of this. You're getting that throwback look. You're getting that liquidity search right underneath the 9. Now, you can even get 650s, but back through 674s could give a 7 and above. That's the way I look at that one.
IWM looking strong to me.
IWM is still always a play, guys, on the dips, right? So the dips on the IWM on the hourly are going to be approaches to get bought. So dips through on hourly, I think that's an approach. That could be a rinse repeat type of trade, right? Maybe you're not taking it really big, but you're taking small little profits, consistency.
Yeah, for me, until that positioning unwinds, right? The positioning is still dead wrong here. Right? They're still very much, they shorted more IWM as it reached all-time highs, which is disastrous
Yep,
for
Do I
a
breakout.
bunch of
step up
idiots
to
out
the
there.
plate? Do I step up to the plate? Oh, a little part of me is like, Mitch, you want to swing hard. You know what you need to buy right now.
Wow, Intel is looking incredibly strong.
Yeah, that's the government doing buying more, man. They're like, well, they're actually really liking. I told you guys that Fleetwood dog. It ain't gonna be looking like a Fleetwood dogs in a month or two, man. It's gonna be looking like the sexy thing on the block. That flea with that dog with fleas got a nice bath and just got adopted by the U.S. government, baby.
Yeah. This appears structural rotation. And I've been saying attack makes absolutely perfect sense when everyone in the dog is long big cap tech and then everyone is short, value or small cap against it.
Yeah.
Right? When it's like a self-fulfilling kind of prophecy. The trade starts to unwind, and then it's a force unwind, and then it just continues to it will continue to cycle down until the positioning is done. Until that happens, that's why I'm always in the camp that until I see that positioning change, I am buying dips. Just give me every dip you can. Once they're no longer short, aggressively short the SPY and the IWM, then I'll be a little bit more neutral. But until then,
I on Q about to break the low.
Wow, nice job.
Let's go, guys.
Meanwhile, Intel looks like it's just a squeezer.
I can't sell this Ion Q here, guys. This could be a real leak. I need a hold on the day trade account. Like this could be a nice $400, $500 winner.
Let's get it.
So like sometimes like you're gonna have to tell yourself like, dude, you have a great entry. It's okay to take profit here if you wanted to take half off. But on the type of move that we could have on the VIX, the type of move that we can have on IonQ's daily tells me more and more we could come right back to the 9 EMA, right? That's 66. That's $5 down from here, right? That potential reward is massive. But you got to stay tight. Got to stay tight. They're coming back trying to get some people on the VIX. I could see it. I could see it, man. I could see it. They're like, oh, you want to put your stop at 34.10s? Get ready. Higher lows though on that VIX 5 minute. Tells me more and more, hold on.
I'm looking for IWM to sweep the highs to confirm that it wants to go higher. It rejected before it could get there.
So you see this kind of trend line completely formed now on the VIX. That looks pretty strong right there. Now I'd look for that to maybe wick there, but shouldn't really close below that. And if we get the rip out towards 34.40s, that's where the volume comes in. So you start to reclaim a trend line approach from yesterday, right? So you look at the 15-minute chart, look at this. So you see how that kind of lines in here, right to that wick. They say technical analysis doesn't work. The key level is not going to be so much the trend line. Also, it's a recovery of yesterday's kind of action where you broke out of. So like kind of this 34.15 area, it keeps coming back to and reloading in that area where you got the breakout signal yesterday, right? So what does that mean? The buyer is trying to kind of reload in that same area.
SPY perking up a bit here, trying to get back over that 663.5. We have mid caps of all things up really big today. And then
There's that number.
IWM took another shot at today's high. Pulled back a little bit off it, but yeah, that's two back-to-back shots at prior highs here. So this is obviously the level to watch. Right? It's at 244. And remember, with these names, once this gets going, you can start trading TZA and TNA. These are insanely liquid, triple leveraged instruments on the IWM. So if you want to go nuts, if you look and say, "Oh, well, mid caps are boring." Well, they're not boring if you're triple leveraging them. They're not nearly as boring. Right. Same with some of the constituencies, right? So a KRE is a great one. That's actually one of the things that's pulling us up here as well. And then if you take a look there, KRE, you can do DPST.
Yeah.
Which is the triple leverage KRE. So there's funds. There's funds to play here for sure.
All right, guys, I did see that SGML kind of do that 650 dip and then right back up. So that's looking prime for now to start to get to strength. If the market starts to get strong, that also help it, but it doesn't need to get strong for that name. We'll see what happens in LAC. LAC could be more of that indicator for us. If LAC can keep going, maybe SGML can really get the run. SQM also sitting on the support, 44. I want to see that send off to 45. On Q, it's time to reject and really crush the buyers. 9 EMA rejection, right? You guys know how I like 9 EMA rejections. Here it comes in. Let's see it reject it and just tell those buyers, sorry. You want to dip buy? You want to keep doing that game? You think you got this? Well, let's find out. Let's find out. Back above the 9 EMA and that wick tells me to take my cash and run. Let's see it, guys. Let's see if we're going to get this bigger move today on the downside action, or will we get a small trickle right back up, right? That's the way things are looking out there.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks like we're trying here again on the SPY. I think so. We rejected pretty much to the tick off VWAP last time.
Yeah.
And it happened, funny enough, the bounce happened right after that number, that new home sales number came out. So came out goodish. People are somewhat happy, I guess, whatever it was. So we pulled off it a bit now.
Michael, you can't say these numbers don't matter and then they're goodish.
Goodish.
It's goodish. Who cares?
It's not that. No, I'll never say fundamentals don't matter. I'll say fundamentals are not predictable. Right?
Yeah.
No, I'm saying more the number. No. You're poo-pooing it, but at the same time, it moved the market.
The question,
you
the only question,
liquidity moved the market. That was
right. So the question I always have is whether or not something matters. It means whether or not can I make money off it.
Oh yeah.
Right. And if I can't make money off it, if the number comes out and it's instantly priced into the market like that, and I'd have to fight like Goldman Sachs to get a piece of the pie, I can't make up money. It doesn't matter to me. It's not something I'm going to care about at all. Right?
She's dead.
There's only so much data I can put into my brain, and as soon as something fills a spot, then remember the Simpsons where he's like, oh, every time I learn something, I forget something else, and it's like the same thing. I only got so much to put in there.
Challenging VWAP, so much capital
on the Qs, challenging VWAP on the SPY again, right to the tick. Let's see if we hold here.
I would be watching the Qs, right? Like the Qs are going to either lead the rally back or also, I think, lead the downside. So this is the third touch. This is massive right now. Third touch of VWAP. I mean, you can kind of maybe consider this VWAP touch over here, this 598.77. I haven't seen a good VWAP rejection in a while, like a real rejection off VWAP. So we've seen so many VWAP recoveries,
Yeah.
right? Like that's what we've been seeing a lot of VWAP recoveries where it just recovers VWAP and then holds there all day. RCAT's still struggling. We'll see if it starts to come back off the 11 spot there. AMD's the real trap out the gates. I was even looking at this like it was an opportunity, but now maybe it's an opportunity down here after you get the discounted price to the support, right? Right, because that popped to 165. I talked about 164 pop could get that move back to 167. It trapped right out the gates there. Like that's what AMD does a lot. The traps. That's why it's hard to play AMD. I've said it countless times, guys. AMD is kind of like that one that you take like a flyer on and you see if it really runs. When it runs, it helps because it flies. But it's a tough name, and you're gonna probably get stopped out a couple times trying to time it, right? That's just that type of name. It's like Tesla to me.
Backed off there just a little bit on the SPY. Let's see if we take another shot at this here.
Seems pretty strong. IWM's trying to participate again.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, IWM. I think we could even see lift in the Qs and the SPY come down. Yeah, I could see that. You want the IWM to lead here. The IWM just to lead off, and then kind of the other ones to kind of come through. Let's see what happens. Ion Q still kind of rejecting around the same area. So the 72 spot being vital here for recovery. There we go. Good rejection in Ion Q. Come on. Come hammer it now.
Oh, might be.
Come on. Come hammer it. I'm liking my bet in the VIX today because, like, at worst comes to worst today, I lose like maybe like 60, probably maybe $90, right? But at least this opportunity itself should present myself another step up in the account, in the live account, right? That's what we want to do every day. Just try to set ourselves up for the step forward in those accounts, right?
We'll
and that's
never know what's going to happen, so we just have to kind of take our shots and be happy when the shots work out, and try not to be too pissed when they don't.
Yeah, a little bit of both, right? You can't be too overly excited too, right? Like even on LAC, that's why I'm not continuing to trade it, right? I tried it twice, slapped my hand, and said, no, 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 get out.
Yeah, so here's just the SPY. Just wanted to show, right, the blue line here. I just added VWAP, right? We came right to it and then rejected from it, and we've just flirted around. Didn't make a new low. I think that's very important, right? If it rolled over and made new lows, that to me would be more weak, but we've just been grinding ever since. There's, we got to remember there's the third option that we don't break it and move higher, and we don't reject it and move lower. We just do this for the rest of the day, which is just hang out inside this range. Certainly not what I hope, right? I hope that we get some type of breakdown, but the way I look at this, right, two solid down candles right off the open, right into the prior day's low. Makes sense that we at least stall here, because not only is it the prior day low, there's a lot of lows in through here. So we have this one, right? So this is what, last Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday,
Sorry to
all
interrupt.
hanging out around.
I just got in IWM there. Just heads up on the reclaim of 244.
Long side.
Dun 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 dun.
Yeah, and if you compare the VWAP on this one, you can just see it's the other way, where it's testing it and holding it to the upside. So it just shows again that huge disparity we're seeing in, you want to own small caps and you want to avoid large caps, at least in this market. And again, I think that will continue until it's net 200,000 contracts on IWM get covered.
Sheesh.
Are you all out of the?
No,
Not all out.
well, it hasn't done anything. That's the problem. So I got out a bunch at 10, but ever since then, it's just been If you measure the low of this candle, it just hasn't done anything. It's just been chopping between 10 and 8 for the last while. So yeah, I need to see some action.
Yeah.
Give me some indication.
Come on, IonQ. You're just playing with me now.
Yeah, and the plan, just for everyone, the plan with open is I'm staying in until the short float tells me that they've covered.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Zillow's
again,
doing a
it'll be
little
late.
bounce back today.
I will get the data late, hopefully, with the tokenization of the Nasdaq, which is happening next year, according to the report that they release, which would be amazing. We could do a little tokenization of the short float and see, but there's just no indication that these guys are out. So if they're not out, then any kind of that dude who's been pumping it does one tweet and we're back up here to highs. I'll take it. Now again, I took out 2/3 of my position, in the tens, in the low tens, when I saw it kind of struggle there for a couple days. I got out of that position, so now it's just waiting for, right? Give me a sign.
Looking at a potential short here of Rigetti on the live account. Let's go for it.
Seeing weakness in SPY.
I just went for it, guys. I just shot in there on Rigetti and it's working immediately. That's what you want to see,
Nice.
right? Almost that immediate gratification trade. So I'm going to risk $28 towards 31.61. It's 50 shares. Why? We're far extended on dailies. They need to be huge breakdowns for it to really work, right? Huge breakdowns. That's the key. So what? Keep the risk small, keep the share size small. SGML starting to push off the bottom. That looks a lot better now. Still have that since the very beginning, guys. I think I bought into that in like the first 5 minutes of the market. Still have a piece of that. Got to keep it
SPY's
tight
turning
on this
around,
spaghetti.
though. Still not seeing the lift I'd like in IWM. Might take a small stop and reconsider here.
We chopping.
Yeah.
SPY perking up a little bit
Yeah, we
again.
chopping for sure.
Just in that, it's been a messy sideways action for sure.
Squeeze on Rigetti. Right back to the resistance, but I'm out on that resistance, right? Not going to squeeze and hold on these names. They're going to squeeze and wick and probably drop fast, but it's okay. The key here, stay within one trade back into the green, right? One trade back into the green. If I can keep these haircuts, little small trims, at some point we should see a big red candle. Like even on that Rigetti, that's kind of the wick trap that I talk about all the time. They wash them before they send them. Same thing here, but on the upside, right? You're seeing washes on the buys, not washes on the downside. That shows us different action than we've been seeing yesterday.
Yeah, and just, man,
Look,
this is
same thing we got on IonQ. You see how it's the same thing? These are the bots playing with us. So
Well, and I talked about it this morning how I've taken this one trade. That's it. That's the only thing I've done is this CRK short, and it's like the bot was kind of telling me, saying, "Hey, man, there's not a lot going on. Not a lot of
Take
not
it
a lot
easy.
of
Be
edge out
careful.
there, right? The
Yeah.
average stock, if you kind of compare the RSP and the MDY, the average stock is up 0.02% today. What do you, right? Is that the day to really kind of get aggressive and go after it? Not for me, not for my style, right?
Yeah. At this point, we should see the breakdown of the Qs and the SPY breakdown on the VXX trade. So that's why I was also looking at the Rigetti trade, right? Because they both could have started working in the same timing aspect, right? The key for me on the Rigetti, keep it really tiny. I could get right back in on the 31, but look how it's a VWAP rejection play. It's clear strategy play here. Those are the ones that I like because at least I've taken a strategy play, right? Like something that is an edge, a strategy that I know to reject this level and come down right back towards the low, right? Classic short strategy.
Yeah, Tack, I agree with this. Again, not a big news guy, but I do think the whole Nasdaq listing, it's going tokenization across the board should be a pretty big deal. So I'm watching. This is the VWAP from the April lows, and I always I own a bunch of these exchanges anyway for like investments. I think always bet on the bookie. is a good motto to have. And the fact that they're leading the charge here with 24-hour trading and tokenization, everything, I'm just going to watch, see what happens. And this is like investment stuff. So I'll watch, see what happens if we get to this anchored VWAP from the April lows. If we dig in, start to, look like we're curling up or grinding higher, that's a trade I'll take where, they're doing something and they're good dividend payers. So again, we're talking, the account I can't touch for 25 years. But this is just the NASDAQ as a whole. What an amazing this one is, right? Again, always bet on the bookie.
The 72 is really being pesky now on the IonQ. So the 72 recovery now, it could push off of that. It's just being pesky.
Yeah, IWM posted a stick save there. Tried to break down. Might be trying to put in a higher low.
Got the SPY. It just got up to that VWAP, and then since then did that at 10, and it's 10:30, and we've done nothing since then. So there are times like we talk about to swing big, and there's time just save your powder, chill out, either for tomorrow or for later today or whatever it is. But
well, what you want to see here, if you're looking to buy, right? If that's what the game is for you, right? I think it's not that you can't be around today. You just have to wait for the next squeeze. And so in this case, there's definitely shorts getting in here. Don't worry, I'm not the only bear out there, right? There's definitely shorts getting in now, right? The question is, did they time it right? So if you start to see the market run the other direction, they did not. That's the type of mentality you want to be looking at right now. So you want to start to see squeeze action on those types of names that have already been squeezing.
right, these guys have been shorting. This is the chart that I think will go down in history for why we had this just insane run. This red line, they've been shorting more. They shorted more now to 225,000 contracts short, and shorted more into that all-time high push. Like everybody is short. The whole world is short. And if you look at the sentiment numbers, the survey numbers, everyone's short and everyone's mad. And the market just keeps grinding higher every day, and I absolutely love it. It's my favorite thing, just to log on and just go and see all the perma bears just screaming about inflation this and jobs numbers this and whatever, and then we just go up 1% that day.
Yeah, I think JC Peretz had a great tweet. It's like, is it a bubble about to pop, or are you just mad that you missed it?
Yeah, it's usually the louder they are about how things have to come down. Because if you're saying things have to come down, you're just ignoring history. You're just putting your head in your sand, just saying, let's ignore the last 100 years of history in which they didn't, and just hope that this time is different. And this time, right, if you just grab this, put it as a monthly chart, we get a lot of dips along the way, but each one is higher than the one before it. Right? The only time that didn't happen was 2000, 2008. And it's funny. There's a lot of people, I think, that started their trading career here. So then they're anchored to this kind of action where they think lost decades like this is normal.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, we had one of those. One of those, and we had World War II. I think those are the two times that there's been lost decades. And then other than that, you buy stocks and generally they go up. Sometimes they go down. And our job is just to make sure that we've got a plan for when they go down, when we're seeing them go down, not predict in some fantasy point in the future that they will, and then have a plan to sidestep it so that we have a lot of cash so we can buy them when they're going down. SPY took another shot there at VWAP and got rejected.
Oh man,
this feels like sometimes you have
stop watching the SPY.
Same story. Right?
No, I don't think that's the same story. I don't think that's the same story. It didn't come back to VWAP.
They're within 0.05% in the difference of their change from today.
I mean, I think the 1 minute chart says a different story, but hey, to each his own. To each his own. That looks very bearish to me compared to the SPY.
Yeah, well, bearish for what, right? If you're looking at like the VIX, obviously the Qs doesn't matter because the Qs isn't part of the VIX, right? They're not related. And then if you're looking at the IWM doesn't seem to care about any of this. If you're looking at the RSP, so it's whether or not you're looking at the average stock or whether or not you're playing big cap tech, right? Yeah. And we talked about it, right? I don't think this is the market to play big cap tech. Some, but if you look at MAGS, it's funny. If you look at MAGS and you compare it to the Qs, it's like the same chart because it's just so driven by what these big guys are, which is we all know them. It was
Some
Amazon that really kind of pulled us down yesterday,
some
and that
stops getting triggered in SGML. VIX starting to spike there, guys. Looking good here for the move. Q's right back to the low, and quick it goes there. So I'm thinking about stepping up in Ion Q here, not stepping down.
is INQ a Nasdaq component, or are you just thinking tech moves together?
It's just growth. I'm thinking today's that day where all these bubble stocks, like the stocks we were just talking about, those are the days where they take the takedown on those, and if you were swing long, you just lose out on a lot of gains. And so I'm trying to ride that momentum down. That's it. Just quickly and trying to keep it simply to that thesis.
And I think the big question with all these is, can we take out these lows that we've had for the last 3 or 4 days?
Mhm.
If so, maybe just another little bit of a pullback. And then the question is, where does the pullback go? Because you got to have pullbacks, right? If you're going to have a massive bull market like this, we've had a bunch along the way.
Mm.
And what I've been doing a lot of is just anchoring a VWAP to the one before it, right? So like this, you anchored a VWAP to the August 1st pullback that held right here
Out
on
SGML.
August 20th. That held right here on September 2nd. So that's been the pullback zone. So if you anchor to there, the question is that where we are? Is that where we're going? So if that's the case, that would be a very Brian Shannon kind of trade. That's 655. So it's like a 5-6 point down move from here. And this whole kind of thing has worked the whole way. And if you anchored to this pullback, isn't it crazy that we stopped right there? And then you go back and you anchor to that pullback, and isn't it crazy that we stopped right there? It's wild how these things, right? It's almost like it's programmatic. It's almost like
Yeah.
it's just algorithmic saying, hey, get me close to this VWAP from this move. So if this trend, which has happened the whole way up, is going to continue to hold, then again, 655. So what I would watch for is if we lose that in any significant manner, then it's okay. Maybe it's time to take a look at things.
Wow. Look at
SPY
SPY.
near close to the VWAP. You see how it's closer to the VWAP here.
It just does not want to go down. If it can
Yeah.
reclaim this, it's going to rip. I do believe.
Unfortunately, it does not want to go down, but also does not want to go up. Like, look at this
Yeah,
box.
that's the
We've
key.
been in this box since
Mm.
over an hour now.
We're in a kind of a bear flag on the 15, and we need to see if we break above the resistance there.
Yeah, and then the IWMs still. It's all just chop.
It's all just chopped. There really isn't a bigger move done today at all, right? Let's just be
This
as
might
honest as can be.
This is what's happened. Like tomorrow, we've got final GDP, unemployment gains, quote, durable goods, right?
All the
Sometimes,
crazy stuff.
yeah, if you have a low economic number day, which we had today, and then the next day you have a high economic number day, it's fairly common to see these things just chill out and consolidate.
So stepped out of SGML, guys. That thing will need to hold 650s, and then back through 660s will be kind of a trigger if you want to come back towards that name later in the day. Let's say for some reason you see the SPY spiking, the Qs spiking. I'd take a look to start to see that LAC also goes through that 6 right now. You see how it's going through 6? That could be the trigger on SGML where it starts to turn back, right? So keep your eyes on that name as an upside name. LAC now trying to break 6.
Just like I wouldn't trust the sell-offs based off what I'm seeing here, I wouldn't trust the rallies either. I'm not. I need to see a while above VWAP before I would get interested on either side.
Yeah.
This seems like one that you're either avoiding entirely or you take some kind of longer term bets with wider stops and you just hope you nail the direction into the end of the day correctly.
Yeah.
Again, for me, just short CRK, and then this is my day. So I shorted this one stock. My bot did up here at 9.4. What's the exact price? 934, and we are right at, or 1934. We're at 1934 now, and we've been at 1934 the whole damn day. So that's my one trade.
Michael,
I'll
I'm
be
glad it's not
right
just me.
back, guys.
My
Yeah,
IWM is dead flat. My breakout trade that I was looking for, Hinge, it was up
yeah,
5% pre-market, right back to open. So just hanging out.
yeah. And it's, I keep pounding the table on this just because I know myself as a newer trader, newer to this game, I would be just like out there hunting. Give me something to trade. Give me something to trade. I have to trade. I have to trade.
Mm,
And then old man me goes, the market, and in this case, my bot is trying to tell me something,
yeah, exactly.
right? It's trying to say the the market's stuck in a range. All these stocks are stuck in the range. These are the worst days for me personally to lose a bunch of money,
Yep, yep. I'm with you.
right? If I'm long and the market's selling and I lose a bunch of money, like, okay, I got the direction wrong. That happens. If I'm short and the market's ripping and I lose a bunch of money, it's like, okay, that's fine. I got the direction wrong. Uh, if I am, the market does nothing, that's the stuff that gets me because it was very easy. You set an alert up here and you set an alert at the low. You say, as long as we are inside this box, just don't make any decisions, right? Just wait for something to happen. Now, I'm talking to us that trade larger stocks. If you're someone who trades like the crazy low float treasury company de jour that's up or down hundreds of thousands of shares, it's like fine, okay. That thing is always going to move. That thing doesn't care that the market's not moving. But
Right.
for most market components, you can see that they're chopping around a little bit here. And if we go again into IWM, you can see just kind of more of the same. Right? So everything is kind of in a range. RSP is one of my favorite indexes. It just shows what the large cap average is. Again, nothing really here. So talking about Tesla in the chat. Yeah, it's another rocket here. This has just been crazy ever since. What's Elon up? Because his buy was 395, I think was his buy. A nice 11% move on his $1 billion that he added in. Good for him.
I love the tweet, like the prophecy foretold 42069. It's like, was it the prophecy or was it the gamma squeeze you engineered?
Yeah, exactly. And
Okay.
you got to imagine, right?
Hey, gang.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Howdy.
Hey.
You're hanging out for what is this thrilling day of market activity? Let's start a rumor. Let's go on Twitter. I'll tweet something, and then you guys instantaneously retweet it about Trump said this, and let's give it a kick. Let's get it moving here.
Let's get
Well,
some
you
heat.
want to talk about social media? Disney is kind of interesting so far. I mean, not a had kind of a dramatic pop out of the gate,
Oh yeah, nice slow grind.
kind of slowing down. So, I could see that pushing up or dropping
Oh,
or
what a nice
or sitting still.
long-term
But
start.
I
What a
could see it
mess.
getting up to this level and kind of holding.
It's probably looking a little heavy to
Um,
me.
I'm also looking at my retailers. We got the Dollar Tree, Walmart, Target complex here. So it's actually the first chance I'm getting to get a good. That in my arm is good. So yeah, I don't know. The stuff I'm looking at is interesting, but I haven't really gotten into anything
No,
today so far.
there's been a lot of that. Like, well, in Disney, I think is a perfect example. Been a lot of this I've noticed. Just things that are either grinding up off the open or grinding down off the open. Nothing really moving with any kind of intention today. We were talking about why, right? We got all kinds of economic numbers tomorrow. It's a whole slew of them at 9:30. So. And then we've got a bunch of Fed jerks. Look at all these. One, two, three, four, five, six. Come on, guys.
Come
It's like
on.
this. The second they're allowed to talk out there, they just don't shut up until the next meeting. I miss and this is going to really date me. Just the old school like Ben Bernanke style. He wouldn't say nothing. He'd come out. Here's the new rate, and then leave, and then
He'd utter words, but he'd say nothing.
yeah. Well, what was the famous Alan Greenspan?
That was more Greenspan, right? Yep.
Yeah, he's like, if you understood me, I misspoke or something.
That's great.
And,
Yeah.
yeah, let's see.
It's looking heavy to me, gotta say.
Yeah, if I've made myself too clear, you must have misunderstood me. Was because he would just and back. It's funny because today they just kind of lay out this is everything that we're going to do. I remember being in the hedge fund space and watching them trade when Greenspan would testify, and they would look at his briefcase and how big it was and how much papers were in it and try to make a guess of what would happen based off of. So yeah, games as old as time that have not changed in any way, shape, or form. But
Oh
yeah,
man.
days to push it, days to chill out. This is one of those days just to chill out. Right? Again,
Mhm.
we entered this range. You could say at 9:45, and now we're at 10:45, and we are still just hanging out inside this range. Uh, so I just say it to tell you, hey, there's for me, right? What I'll be doing when I'm out of here is you set an alert up at top here at 663.50. You set an alert below of the day, and you just kind of walk away. You know
Yeah.
the Qs are being relatively weak, the IWM is being relatively strong, and then right, SPY's doing nothing. Trying to look to see. I'm going on StockTwits here. I'm trying to look to see. Everyone's still talking about LAC. Number one mention, and then number two is this IREN. This has been another big name. This is another battery thing, right? Iron, jeez, what a monster. Yeah, they do battery stuff. What else? Riot. These are one of the Riot's the smart one. So if I'm going to get into a Bitcoin miner, it's probably going to be something like Riot, where they saw the writing on the wall a long time ago that
Mm.
Bitcoin mining is just an awful business. So they said, well, we have all this compute, and AI is getting interesting. So can we convert some of this compute and some of these data centers from just Bitcoin mining into AI things? And it's looking way better than you look at something like Amara
Yeah.
that tried to just do the crypto treasury, and that thing just really hasn't gotten going at all.
Yeah. The pivots are interesting though. It's I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. I guess just signs of rapidly changing times where you can just pivot to the bubble item and somehow it works. I mean, I
Yeah.
guess it makes sense with their compute, like you're saying, but
Well,
interesting.
and again, as someone who worked for a Bitcoin miner for some time, it's just an awful business. It's just awful. Because like the algorithm is specifically designed for the more people who mine, the harder it is to get any rewards from it.
Mm,
So when everybody dived in and started mining crypto, you just got this phenomenon where it just became harder and harder to get any reward. So your yield just tanked the more efficient compute got, the more available power got. It was very lucrative for a very short period of time, and then just died out entirely. So a lot of these companies are barely treading water. And then on top of that, you've got power cooling data centers, but then you're running these systems, these asyncs and these GPUs full tilt all the time, so they melt down all the time and have to be replaced. And it's just security and just nightmare. Not a business that I would want to be a part of
mm,
as someone who did it for a brief period of time.
fair enough.
Might
Yeah, that sounds like an
Oh
interesting
yeah, at
choice.
least with AI, you can predictably yield. With crypto, it's kind of like you're trying very hard to solve the equation. The guy who gets it first gets the cash. You don't know. You can estimate what your income will be, but it's really really hard. Um, so let's go into the spy. We are challenging VWAP again. We look at the Qs, trying to get back up to VWAP again. IWM is over VWAP again. So is this time, what's this, the 27th time the charm here? We're going to break
All
through this
right.
time.
Yeah, I was actually just noticing. I was just about to mention. I just did a long entry on GameStop. I just grabbed it just before the new minute like 58 seconds. So it was able to get some good volume on that entry. But yeah, we'll see if this is, if it loses this level, then we probably head down further. But I'm seeing some push on crypto too, with the looks like the biggest volume coming in on the meme side of things. So could be the Russell's doing that too. Then could be the time.
Russell's trying its best, but it is still not finding traction.
Well, that's the quote of the day, right? How's the market doing? It's trying its best. Hasn't been able to make any headway, but believe me, it's trying. And just if you look at just the raw numbers too, right? We got the SPY up 0.03% and the Q's down 0.03%. Makes me miss April
Yeah.
when we were like, I was Googling what the limit lockdown level
Yeah.
was of that day. That was more fun than a 0.02% up move and a 0.02% down move.
Yeah, I'm
I
falling
was
asleep
gonna
over
watch.
here.
I know Mitch is gone with his I. I was going to check his IONQ, but yeah, what's the other one he's in? SGML. That one's pushing down. So yeah, just a lot of nothing. RSP is trying to perk up a little bit, and yeah, so is IWM.
But
Just like glued to VWAP. Just cannot get away from VWAP here. Oh, don't want to jinx it. We're above it on the SPY. Really, a lot of these things, it's Amazon of all companies that are really dragging us here. If you look at the Mag 7 and you just look at this kind of fall apart we've had in Amazon the last couple of days, down like 6-7% for just a huge company is a really big deal. And you compare that to the rest of the Mag 7, if you go to MAGS, you see it's really been Amazon that's been dragging us. So we just need this one to kind of hold itself at least for a second. And everything else will be fine. Because usually it's NVIDIA that's the culprit, right? NVIDIA either up or down is doing a big deal. But I'm watching this. You could do what, NVDL? That's a 2x leverage. But this, if we're going to continue the AI super cycle, you got to imagine this is going to be one that's going to go. And it's a nice looking chart. Nice tight base up here.
Yeah, I'm a fan. It took a while to reshape, but it did well. And now maybe IWM drops.
Kind of reminds me of the gold chart when it was right here. And it took forever and frustrated a whole lot of people.
Myself.
And
yeah,
as soon as we got out of that, you had another little lag.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not calling for another NVIDIA double or something, but I'm going to buy it when it breaks out of the space. I'll do a NVDL.
Yeah,
good liquidity in this one.
Yeah, and you don't need a huge move. If it's a straight shot, you get the leverage and you make your money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got my lucky pineapple still in the frame.
Pegged to VWAP today. That's the name of the game.
Ain't that the truth? I'm seeing. I want to say it's constructive, but man, it's just so slow. Like I'm just worried that bulls are going to spend all their ammo just trying to get us over VWAP and then have nothing to actually push. But this is looking better.
Yeah, this kind of action, it seems like this is where tape reading could really come into. Like, are we not moving because there's just no trades at all? Or is it a battle? Like, is there a lot of action going off both sides? It feels like to me that we're just not going anywhere because there's no trades. People are, saying, okay, we've got all these big numbers tomorrow. We're inside yesterday's range. Again, I know a lot of kind of algo traders and things that just will not trade stocks or sometimes won't trade at all if the SPY is inside the prior day's range. They've just noticed that the edge on all their systems just degrade a lot if you're inside yesterday's range. So they just have a blanket rule is just let me know when things are moving again or outside of yesterday's range. Until then, but slowly grinding up here, looking good. Q's about to flip positive with the VWAP right ahead. And IWM working up a bit. You still got your trade on there in IWM?
Yeah, it's just been messing with me. Feeling slightly better now.
do that. Did you actually go IWM or did you go like TNA, TZA?
Just IWM, just IWM. This is not in my trade the pool account, so
Oh, okay.
I took a very small next week call.
Yeah, there was traders at my old prop firm that would just do TNA, TZA, and like
Wow,
FAs,
look at this.
just that.
I made it. I made it.
Welcome back. Oh,
What are you trying to see? Your screen, Tim? I got you, man. Just
Yeah.
2 seconds. 2 seconds.
it
I'm
is.
You know,
different
I've
world.
set Steve up with the spotlight before, but I guess the
Don't worry.
this
Don't worry.
fancy
I got you. I got
frame,
you, my friend.
the camera frame in the corner is fancy.
I like that.
But yeah, I was just saying, look at the crypto world right now because that's what I've got up on here.
Whoa, yeah.
And
I just brought up Bitcoin. We're rocking in here a little bit, aren't we?
Tim. All right. Let's
Yeah, Ripple up 3.5%. I saw Tack talking about that earlier.
I mean, speaking of 3, I mean, it's trying to get to just to 3 in general. Now let me check on my boy Peanut.
All right. Watch this. Bam.
Peanut's up 2.87 if you're looking.
There
We
you
got
go, man.
Pangu up 5. He's been the relatively strong silly meme. And Sheep with Hat, the new kid on the block, is perking up a little bit as well.
Oh, it's the sheep.
It's a sheep with a hat. That's it.
Oh, any
more questions?
The one I've been hearing about, and I don't know anything about this, guys. So I'm just prefacing. I've seen on the streets, Aster.
Yes, that is CZ's new project after he got booted from Binance.
I heard that's the place to be.
Yeah, my buddy.
I wonder if this CZ tweeted this, or not CZ, SBF tweeted this morning from prison. Apparently, he's got a buddy to tweet it.
Yeah, I saw that. Did you see that? Good morning.
Yeah. So I wonder if there was a follow up or anything social or whatever, or something from the administration. I need to check in on the.
Yeah, so that's all I know about Aster, Mitch. But it's CZ, and he is like he still wants to be in the space. So a lot of people they're interested because they're like he's not going to screw us here because if he does, he's done forever, right? You got kicked out of your CEO of Binance, you're gone. And he created BNB, which if you bring up BNB as a ticker,
oh yeah,
grab this here. This has been absolute on fire. This has been one of the strongest tickers or one of the strongest coins in the game. Like, look at this breakout.
Holy
BNB. So this was
haven't checked in on the actual price of that one in ages. Wow.
Oh yeah, this has been amazing. So a lot of people are looking at that and saying, well, if it's the same guy and this is his last hurrah, right? If you lose here, you're out of the crypto game. No one's going to take you seriously anymore. That maybe you're onto something. So I've got my eyes on it too. I can't buy something that's up from 60 cents to 250 in a straight line, but you get some sort of pullback. Maybe I'll diversify from my fart.
All right, guys, going to continue to watch SGML all day long. That thing is still setting up for a breakout. It depends on the market, right? We did get a little bit of a move back up, but guess what happens? Q's right back down, right? So still in the VIX trade, still looking at that as a great possibility today to nail that.
Well, the other thing, speaking of Mitch, you remember yesterday I was talking about NAC in relation to LAC,
Yes.
but NAK. So yeah, I just did not manage to jump on that first thing, and here we are up.
Dude, all I gotta say
10
is
points
what
already.
Michael would
So
say
10
is
ticks
get
already.
on the beep, 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 beep game.
Robots going.
Well,
Well, that actually
So-
leads. This is a good question from Eli Heel, right? Anyone day trading your own account versus the other and trade the pool? I trade in both, and I use not Thinkorswim. I use Interactive Brokers, but I think a lot of us
Same.
do that because it's like Interactive Brokers is really good if you're interested in automation. They're a really big one for that. But I look at it as why not? It's like
X spiking.
free leverage,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
the XX spiking.
Yes,
Yeah,
not
that's why
happy.
we broke VWAP and then came right back down. So again, I'm not going to trust anything that this market does today after this morning action. It could be up and I'll not trust it. It could be down. I'm not going to trust it either. It's just been again, an old me would be very frustrated with this action, and I'd be taking a lot of trades and probably taking a lot of haircuts on them. Again, I've got one. I can bring it over, but I've got CRK short, and I'm up $3.64, guys. This is the dollar menus on me today.
There you go.
This is the the only trade and the only position. I'm in 1934, and it's 1932. So
Snoozer.
yeah,
Wow, look
which
at there's like 5 tops on Rigetti right in this area. Watching it, guys, watching.
that's trader life. It's a bold one there. Taking short. ASTS is a swing.
Whoa.
That's
All right.
Good luck, my friend.
Yeah,
I do not.
that's good.
think
You know, hopefully it's small. Just because, again, you could be right. This is one of those stocks. Wouldn't shock anyone on the planet if it's up or down 20% tomorrow.
Yeah. It would shock more people if it was down 20%, I'd say.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
We will see what happens here. Really would like to see it first, like trickle down and then get short some of these names, but just try not to front run, right? Try not to load too much too early. Waiting for the move instead, right? I think that's the important part. All right, guys, we'll see if we finally do get that move and the VIX finally jumps and the Qs come down. That's what I'm looking for. We'll see if we get that type of move. And does Rigetti and IonQ and those names come crashing down? We will find out. All right, that's going to do it for us, guys. 11 a.m. Can you believe it? It's already here.
I was thinking the other way. Yeah, with the market movement, I was counting down the seconds, and just know, right? There are days to trade, and there's days to joke around with your buds, and that's one of the cool things that we got on here is we're not always going to be telling you, oh, you got to take, you got to do all this. There's days that we'll say, listen, the market's not doing anything. Save your powder, save your buying power, right? Do some other work. Right? There's a lot of work that you can do that's not trading. You can journal, you can go and back test certain things. There's all kinds of stuff. It feels like that's one of these days. Now, later in the afternoon, maybe we get a breakout. Maybe Trump says something and we're up or down huge. But for me, just final thoughts here is unless we break kind of that mid range, the 663.5, and hold that, or we break today's low and hold it, I've got a whole bucket list of other things that I've got to do today. I can't I can't say it too loud though. The wife's out there. She's gonna make me mow the lawn or something. But I got other things that I got to look at
That's
today.
how it goes, man.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we'll see what happens out there. Stay safe, of course, and we'll find out what happens in the trades, and we'll see you back. Guess what? Just like a tape, we'll be back tomorrow, and we'll keep getting after it. We'll see what happens if there's any other action in the afternoon. Stay tuned. Of course, we'll be back with you guys. Trade the pool.